Coinbase just warned of a massive risk in cryptocurrency, and Trump just said that trillions could be flowing into Bitcoin soon. Let's go through these articles, talk about everything you need to know. Before you do that though, or before we do that, please hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like this. If you want to trade crypto, almost all the trades I've been placing in the last month have been on Bydfi. I really like the platform. It's really easy to use, very intuitive. They have massive bonuses going on when you use my link underneath the video. They have the normal $8,100 bonus, but then there's a trading competition, and the more you trade, the more you earn. Also, this is not something that you have to sign up like today. You could have signed up 2 weeks ago, and you would still be part of this competition. And this is going to keep going. They want to give away some of this money that they're making to incentivize people to come to the platform. So check it out underneath the video. I also have a really good rapport with them over there. So if anything happens or you have questions on anything, like we can get connected to someone really easily there. You can also trade crypto with crypto as collateral. Like you can trade Bitcoin with Bitcoin as collateral. So check this out underneath the video. Now, Bitcoin sitting right around $104,250. Not moving too much. But Coinbase just issued a massive warning just a few days ago. They said $130 billion systemic Bitcoin price warning. The article says Bitcoin has fallen sharply after Israel launched a devastating attack on Iran overnight, with traders braced for an extraordinary White House update. The Bitcoin price dropped towards $100,000 per coin after climbing to within touching distance of the May all-time high as a $37 trillion ticking time bomb fuels fears of a looming market shock. Now, as Elon Musk backs a surprise prediction Bitcoin could replace the US dollar, the global head of research at Bitcoin and cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has warned the trend of companies buying Bitcoin could pose a systemic risk to the crypto market. Crypto adoption by corporate treasuries is an important source of demand, albeit there are valid concerns about potential systemic risks in the medium to long term, David Duong says. This is the Coinbase head of research. Led by software companies turned Bitcoin buying giant Strategy, hundreds of companies around the world have begun adding Bitcoin to their corporate treasuries, often paid for by issuing debt in the form of bonds or share sales. Thus, the fear is that indiscriminate selling by many entities at once to service those debts could lead to market liquidations and a sell-off in crypto more broadly. If prices start to fall and these entities perceive a narrowing exit, others may rush to sell as well, destabilizing the market well before the actual debt repayment issues emerge. Okay, let's step back for a second. There are a lot of companies that are buying Bitcoin. Strategy, Metaplanet, GameStop. And I get what they're saying here. There are some issues, right? It's not risk-free when someone comes in and buys with debt or shares or something like that. I'd say this is a bit different, though, than what people think of originally. Or maybe this is a little bit less risky than people think about originally because these are public companies. So let's say some debt comes up. They could issue more shares, albeit they get approval, assuming they get approval. They could issue more shares to go meet these debt obligations. They could open up new lines of credit. They could sell different assets. They could come up with various ways to meet these debt obligations. Of course, there are going to be companies that have to sell their Bitcoin. It's true. However, this could be years down the line, and it's probably going to affect the smallest companies with the smallest balance sheets. MicroStrategy is doing this very, very carefully, I would say. They're doing this in a way that has been scaled up over half a decade. Of course, there could be some risk in the future from MicroStrategy, but I'd be more worried about small companies, and I'd be more worried if I was investing in the stocks of these companies rather than investing in Bitcoin. I mean, we're talking about, some companies are just a few $1 million in market cap, and they come out and they say that they're going to buy 5 Bitcoin. Like, that's not going to cause any risk to the markets. If the bottom half of these companies all sold right now it would not affect Bitcoin more than $50 or $100. So I'm not too worried about this. Of course, if Michael Saylor all of a sudden just starts market selling Bitcoin, yeah, there's going to be a problem. Or even if it just comes out that he's been selling any of the Bitcoin through OTC desks or whatever. But that's more of a key man risk. That's more just that the biggest bull in Bitcoin then has become more bearish than anything else. At the same time, we have Trump confirming a massive crypto price game changer as trillions predicted to hit Bitcoin market. This is as of today. Bitcoin and crypto prices have skyrocketed over the last year as traders bet on U.S. President Donald Trump's administration boosting prices. The Bitcoin price topped $100,000 late last year and has rebounded back above the psychological level after plunging along with stocks during the Liberation Day tariffs. So now, as Coinbase issues a serious Bitcoin warning, Trump has said that the Senate passing a key piece of legislation for stablecoins will lead to massive crypto investment. The Senate just passed an incredible bill that will make America the undisputed leader in digital assets. This is what he said on Truth Social, and then obviously it was posted on Twitter. He called this the Genius Act stablecoin bill and added that the U.S. is going to show the world how to win with Bitcoin and crypto. No one will do it better. It's pure genius. Digital assets are the future, and our nation is going to own it. We are talking about massive investment and big innovation. The stablecoin market, dominated by Tether's USDT and Circle's USDC, has rocketed from almost zero 10 years ago to $250 billion today. And Wall Street, some of the biggest companies on Wall Street and in the banking world are trying to get into stablecoins. So they passed this bipartisan, they passed this bill, and it's known as the Genius Act. It's going to basically make sure that stablecoins are backed one-to-one. Before the bill can be sent to the U.S. President's desk for signature, it must be voted through the House of Representatives. He said basically approve it as fast as possible, get to my desk ASAP, no delays, and no add-ons. Meanwhile, Trump's crypto czar, David Sachs, has echoed a crypto market prediction made by U.S. Treasury Scott Bessent, telling Bloomberg he expects the stablecoin bill will lead to dollar-pegged stablecoin market surging tenfold from $250 billion to trillions of dollars. The float is expected to grow from $250 billion to trillions of dollars, adding that he expects blockchain-based infrastructure will be used as a new kind of dollar-based payment system of the future. Now, they're talking about stablecoins, trillions of dollars coming to stablecoins, but this also benefits Bitcoin. It benefits Bitcoin because people will use stablecoins. It's going to be much easier to get access to Bitcoin. People feel more comfortable with crypto. The capital controls in various countries throughout the world will be much less, or they'll have a much harder time trying to control that capital from flowing into stablecoins. And then from there, it can go over to Bitcoin because we know that fiat is a melting ice cube, right? So another reason this is greatly beneficial, there are a lot of crypto companies that will benefit from this. They'll make more money. They'll be able to put more money into products. They'll be able to put more money into Bitcoin as treasury companies. Of course, stablecoins being used more also puts more of a strain on like the credit card networks and how much money they're making there. So it can create some competitiveness and then hopefully lower fees. It's also just very fast and very low fee to begin with, stablecoins. So there will be, I think, a lot of money that people make that, especially low margin businesses, that will greatly benefit the economy. Maybe hurt the banks too. We'll see. And then, of course, Switzerland is entering a era of zero interest rates. They just lowered by a quarter basis point. There's so many people that think the Fed is going to have to start cutting later this year. So it's an interesting time. Coinbase gives this warning, but I see what they're saying. I've talked about this for a while. There are going to be companies that have to give up their Bitcoin. There are companies that are just being very stupid or just saying that they're buying Bitcoin when they're really not. They're just using it for publicity, for a quick stock pump. So I'd be more careful if you're investing in those companies than if you're investing in Bitcoin, but do your own research. Again, if you want to trade crypto, I really, really have liked BYDFi. I think it's the place to trade in 2025. Check it out underneath the video. Even if you just sign up, even if you have a different exchange that you like, start a couple trades on here. See how you like it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you all soon. Bye.